Welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. Deputy Attorney General Godfred Woyome has assured that government will retrieve all monies owed the state by businessman Alfred Advocacy Woyome. This comes following the Supreme Court's dismissal of a motion filed by the businessman seeking to hold his oral examination by the state. The court has earlier ordered the businessman to appear to tell the court about properties he owns as well as how he spent the 51.2 million cedis paid him, a decision he is currently challenging and wanted to temporarily hold. He is to appear on July the 24th. JoyNews' Joseph Akable has more in the following report.
The businessman himself didn't make it to the courtroom on Tuesday, and he was represented by one Nelly Woyome. Delivering his judgment, Justice Benin said the businessman had failed to show which kind of irreparable damage you'll be suffering if the court disallows his application and goes ahead to allow the oral examination to take place. Justice Benin described the application as without basis, for which reason he dismissed it, fixing July 24 as the date for the oral examination. There was some controversy right after that ruling was given. Deputy Attorney General Godfred Woyome had wanted the oral examination to take place at the next date with immediate effect, but the concern by lawyer for the businessman, Counsel Anku, was that the businessman was unwell, for which reason he was not in the courtroom. Godfred Woyome, unhappy about this development, told the court that this formed part of ploys by the businessman to delay the court process. In fact, he requested that he be supplied with medical forms indicating that indeed the businessman had been treated and had been asked to stay at home for some time. Now, this document was provided him by lawyer Anku. Still dissatisfied, lawyer for the state, that is Godfred Woyome, informed the court that it is interesting to note that the said documents had been acquired just a day after the previous court proceedings last week. Speaking to the press after court hearing, Deputy Attorney General Godfred Woyome told the press the state was willing to ensure that they attach all properties and shares belonging to the businessman to ensure that the debt is satisfied.
I think that the dismissal was in order. It only shows that all these attempts by Mr. Woyome are just with a view to avoiding the judgment to the court. But clearly, the day of reckoning will come. We believe that surely time will catch up with him and we will have no option but to pay up the money. Well, the 24th of July, the date court has fixed 24th of July for us to examine him. Yes, so he has no option but to appear on that date to be examined. Today he came to court with a medical excuse indicating that he was not well. I believe that is all attempt to dodge, but clearly he cannot dodge forever. We will attach all the shares that he has in various companies. We'll also go after all the properties that he has, and ultimately the judgment will be satisfied.
3 questions will be answered by the businessman on July 24. Whether he has properties capable of offsetting the debt, whether he has the means of offsetting the debt, as well as to tell the court how he spent the 51.2 million cedis paid him by the state. With the indication given by the Attorney General's department, definitely will be one that all will be interested in. Reporting for JoyNews, Joseph Akable, Supreme Court.
Joseph Akable with that report. And if you are a motorist who uses a highway with toll booths, chances are that the person you see manning the booth may be a person with disability. And that's because there's a new initiative dubbed Persons with Disability Road Toll Initiative, which seeks to reduce the rate of unemployed persons with disabilities. Roads and Highways Minister Kwesiamu Akwata has been explaining further.
The 50% quota reserved for persons living with disability represents a total of 200 slots for them, as has already been indicated by the President, Mr. Debra. Today, we are here to witness the official launch and the start of the program by putting in the toll booths across the country between 74 to 80 of them. And we have already been told, and we are going to implement it religiously, that God's willing, come the end of this month, the remaining 120 persons, making up the number of 200, representing the 50%, is going to be achieved and are going to be added to the number. those who are being put in the toll booth today have been carefully selected. Their safety has been ensured and taken into consideration during the selection, and we work together with the Federation. And at this point, I would like to express my personal gratitude and that of the ministry and its agencies to the President, who is here with us, and to the Executive Director, Madam Rita, who I am told, unfortunately, is indisposed, and all other members of the Federation who cooperated with us throughout the selection period. Those
the minister arose there, but the president of the Ghana Federation of Disability Organization, Ofori Deborah, wants governments to roll out a rather comprehensive employment plan for persons living with disabilities in the country. The plan, he believes, will compel various government institutions to employ and reserve a quota for qualified persons with disability, which will address the high rate of unemployment among PWDs.
We are also calling upon the government that this toll booth job should not be the end of it. It should rather open more avenues for persons with disability to be employed. For this reason, we are asking the government of Nana Akufo-Addo to initiate an employment policy that will open more doors to the inclusion of persons with disability into the job market. This is important in the sense that, one, it opens the way for persons with disability to be absorbed into the job market. And if it happens this way, it means that the economic status of persons with disability is going to be enhanced. Another important advantage or merit of this action of government is that the social image of persons with disability is going to improve significantly and considerably. Ladies and gentlemen, when it happens this way, then the social acceptance of persons with disability will be guaranteed.
And 74 out of the 80 persons trained to have been employed to operate some toll booths in there are 74 in the country, while the rest are expected to be rolled out in the coming days. Some operators also want governments to do more to alleviate their plight.
The government has done well, yeah. And we're also going to make sure we work diligently not to disappoint him.
But how difficult has it been for you looking for a job as an individual?
Oh, job issue in Ghana here is quite difficult. But, with the introduction of this policy, I believe that we some of us who have been employed here are really, really blessed. Yeah.
We will say thank you to the government for thinking of us and giving us opportunity to prove that we can also add our quota to build the country, the Ghana, our country, yeah.
Okay.
So,
but how difficult has it been for you looking for a job before you were employed here?
Yeah, looking for a job. When you go to place to look for a job, they look down upon you because you are disability. You have a disability, you are PWD, so they think you can't do anything. Even when you are talking to them, they look down upon you. That's how we find ourselves. So we thank the government for.
You made an appeal about those of your other colleagues who have been interviewed. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah. Those who went to the interview, we are many, but only few of us are picked. We plead that the rest of our friends also will be picked so that we can also get our daily bread.
Ashanti Professional Club is advocating life skills be introduced into the basic school curricula as a first step towards developing entrepreneurship. Members say the Ghana Education Service must give serious thought as a long-term measure to address unemployment.
President of the club, Vincent Frimpong-Manu, argues currently government absorbs just about 3% of tertiary graduates, leaving the rest to their fate. He says unemployment will continue to plague the country if the trend continues, especially at the rate graduates are being churned out with little practical knowledge. The club has initiated advocacy campaign to introduce entrepreneurship programs and capacity building to second cycle students. Mr. Frimpong-Manu explains further.
It's important. I remember there used to be life skills in basic schools. I think they've stopped teaching those, and I don't know the reason why. But with what we're doing and the kind of questions they are asking really shows that some of these kind of programs are very important. And I would share that opinion, that giving young people life skills or basic entrepreneurial skills would be important. If the Ghana Education Services normal teaching curriculum would not allow, they can at least appoint focal persons in the various schools who would get some basic training to do it as an extra, perhaps not non-examinable subject for these young people, because it provides them very good information.
At a workshop in Asante Achimagogo, Mr. Frimpong-Manu urged students in deprived schools to capitalize on available resources to achieve the best for themselves.
Those who are in some of the second or third tier schools think that they are not in some of the popular schools, so they have a kind of skewed opportunities. But that is really not the way they should look at things. If you are in some of these lower tier schools, you should feel that if you don't encourage yourself and study hard, at the end of the day you are really going to write the same exam with the students or your peers in Opokuari School, Prempeh College, Achimota, and Fansipim, and the rest.
Some of the students shared their impressions on the workshop.
It's true, because sometimes if I look at my friends, they go to Yasantua, Amas, and those high schools. And for me, I'm in Agugu State, so I was looking down on myself. But for now, I'm not looking down on myself. And now I have determined, and I'm really determined to push high.
A lot. I've learned a lot. And one that interests my heart most is your aim in life. At first, before this talk or this program, I had in mind that your life depends on the kind of school that you attend or the kind of training that you receive. But I've learned a different thing altogether. All is up to you.
Nana Sensumensan reporting.
Nana Sensumensan reports there.